Hello and welcome to the Bullish Money YouTube channel. I am going to do another one of those unfiltered sessions today. This is, again, completely unscripted. I'm just going to start talking off the top of my head regarding the market crash that occurred in the Dow Jones Industrial Average as well as the other major equity indices. And as expected, the mainstream media is not really taking the sell-off very seriously. If you go today, this is August 22nd, 2015, if you go today to the headlining article on Yahoo Finance, there's an article entitled "Emerging Market Worries Prompt Sell-Off, but Bulls Remain." I don't know why they're remaining, but they're just remaining. There's a quote here from Alan Gale, who is a portfolio manager at Ridgeworth Investments. And he's quoted as saying, "There's a great deal of nervousness around the weakness in China, and that's overshadowing the fact that the U.S. economy is sound and the European Union economy is firming." I don't know what stats, what facts, what data, what reports. I don't know where this pie in the sky data is coming from. Apparently, though, the U.S. economy is sound and the EU is doing just fine. Whatever. Let's go to USA Today. Their headlining article says, "Scary market, yes, but keep cool, investors." The article goes on to say, "Don't panic. Yes, the stock market is in a free fall with no end in sight, but now would not be the time to head for the exit doors, says experts." Quote, "Regular folks should take on a long-term view and avoid trying to anticipate short-term market movements," says Stephen Horan, the managing director of credentialing at CFA Institute in Charlottesville, Virginia. "There's almost no evidence to suggest that professionals can do it effectively and a plethora of evidence suggesting individuals do it poorly." Listen, you assholes. This market is going to crash. There's no doubt about it. This market is going to crash. There's going to be people out there saying, well, we've seen the Dow Jones death cross happen before, and I believe it happened twice before over the last few years, and both times the markets have moved up. So why should we consider this to be a death cross? This should be, to borrow Brian Sullivan of CNBC, to borrow his words, this should be a life cross. The reason why it's not a life cross and that this death cross is genuinely a death cross is because we're fucked. That's the reason why it's a death cross. Now, people will say, well, where's the evidence for that? I'll give you some evidence. You wanna do some fact checking? Let's do some facts, huh? Let's do some facts. All right. Over the last 9 days, when the death cross first flashed on August 11th, 2015, over those 9 days, the markets have averaged on a day-over-day performance ratio, the markets have averaged negative 0.74%. That indicates a very high velocity of market valuation erosion. Now, someone will look at the minus 0.74% metric and say, well, that doesn't sound like much. Over 9 days doesn't sound like much at all. Well, here is the problem with that argument. Do you know how many other times that the markets have, over the 9 days that the Dow Jones death cross has flashed, how many times in the history of the Dow Jones since 1900, how many times has it occurred where that 9-day average is negative 7.74% or worse? How many times in the history, in the modern day history of the Dow Jones Industrial Average? How many times has this occurred? And the answer is it's only occurred 5 times. 5 times So people are always like, well, we need some facts. Well, I'm going to give you some fucking facts here. I'm going to give you some fucking facts here. March 13th, 2001, 9 days over the period when the death cross flashed, we got negative 0.78%. February 9th, 1933, we had a 9-day average after the Dow Jones death cross flash of minus 0.88%. March 13th, 1939, we got a 9-day average of minus 0.92%. September 3rd, 1946, we had a 9-day average of minus 0.93%. The record of the 9-day average occurred on September 15th, 1937, minus 1.09%. The point of this exercise is to let you know that this kind of negative velocity in the markets does not happen that often. Doesn't happen that often. And if you've been paying attention, it only has, this type of velocity has only happened one other time in modern day history. That again occurred on March 13th, 2001. We know, with looking back retroactively, we know what happened in 2001. 2001 was a paradigm shattering event, okay, for very obvious reasons. The other times when the velocity, the negative velocity was this high, occurred in the 1930s. Before World War II. And only one other time, again, 1946, was the velocity, the negative velocity so high. The point is that there's going to be, over the next couple of weeks, certainly the next couple of days, CNBC is going to run a special on Sunday, tomorrow, regarding this market collapse. And there's going to be a lot of market apologists, a lot of Wall Street apologists coming on air and telling you that we've seen this before. This is not any different from the other death crosses, the other market crises that we've suffered. Yes, it is. Yes, it is different. It's completely different. This type of velocity, on average, has never happened since the 1930s. I'm assuming that most of you guys weren't even alive during the 1930s. And congratulations if you were born in the 1930s. But most of us that are listening to this channel, we weren't alive in the 1930s. Okay? Even our parents weren't alive in the 1930s. So give me a freaking break here. This is unbelievable. People are going to... You know what? Here's the thing. The people are going to come out there. They're going to give their bullshit. They're going to give their bullshit analysis that has nothing to do with apples to apples comparison. They're just going to go over there and show you some stats. Here's some stats and here's some reports. I'm a statistical expert and here's some stats, and it shows that we're going to show a recovery every single time we go through this market correction. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, because statistics isn't just about reporting events. That's just called reporting events. It's not statistics. Statistics is the analysis of magnitude and frequency. It's about taking something, a very large data set, and making it smaller so that you can provide actionable decision-making analysis of magnitude and frequency. It's not about reporting certain events that occurred in history. That's called reading a fucking history book. This isn't history class. This is your money. This is real money on the line. This is people's retirements on the line. This is the economy, the United States economy on the line. And you're giving me a bunch of bullshit. Give me a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, fuck that. This is ridiculous. This whole mainstream bullcrap advice that they're peddling. You know what pisses me off? Why the hell am I not on the mainstream? I mean, these dumbasses, these douchebags go on there, and I know that they're a bunch of douchebags. I know that they are selling you a bunch of crap. I mean, I read the numbers. I read the actual data. I really am conducting statistical analysis. Magnitude, frequency, magnitude, frequency, magnitude, frequency. You know what it says? It says that those douchebags on CNBC, on Bloomberg, on whatever fucking media channel, they're lying to you. They're absolutely lying to you. You know what? The other thing that really pisses me off is those assholes come on there and they got their suit and their tie and they're just looking all fly. They're telling you to not sell because they are selling. They are selling. I mean, got record level selling volume. Who's selling? If nobody else is selling, why should you hold on when everybody else is selling? Everybody else is selling. I mean, why should you be the one holding the bag? There should be some accountability for some of these pricks that are out there giving this crap advice. You know what those regulations by the SEC, you know who they really hamper? They hamper people, independent analysts such as myself and others out there that are giving genuine analysis, genuine factual empirical analysis. But those regulations and those rules, those limitations, they don't apply to the mainstream. The mainstream, they can peddle a bunch of bull crap. They can tell you that your shit tastes like filet mignon. And they do it with a smile on their face. I mean, they're narcissists. And they're really good at lying. They're professional liars. That's what the mainstream, that's what they do, is that they are polished professional liars. Now, I've given you some facts to consider. You can look up, and I encourage you to look up these facts. Look up these facts. I gave you the dates. You can go back. I'm not going to repeat them again. You can go back on, scroll back to the video and dissect the information. I gave you the specific facts, the way that I've come up with my numbers. And you can see for yourself. You can see for yourself that this market crisis that we are currently on is completely different from the crises of the 2011 or prior to that. All right. I mean, this is different than the crises that we've experienced over a recent time frame. I mean, these crises, this level of negative velocity has only occurred mostly occurred in the 1930s, a period of great social, economic change, a lot of geopolitical paradigm shifting events. This is the takeaway. This is the main takeaway, because in modern market history, our markets have relatively stabilized compared to the 1930s, the 1940s, the 50s, and 60s. We've stabilized. We don't get these crazy market shifts, or we rarely get these crazy market shifts, especially over just a very constrained time frame. So the fact that we are achieving, quote unquote, a negative velocity that has really only been witnessed during the 1930s. Again, when you consider the 1930s, the geopolitical turmoil that was occurring, all the social changes that were occurring, I mean, that's got to really give you at least room, some pause, and it really has to inspire you to, something has to trigger you to say, wait, let's hold up here. Let's hold up here. You're saying that this kind of velocity, this kind of negative velocity hasn't occurred since the 1930s, when pretty much nobody I know was alive back then. I mean, this is the kind of just radical change, radical revolution in the markets that we are living through right now, right this very second. We are living through a radical market revolution, and people are on the mainstream are just treating this like, it's just another day, just another day on Wall Street. Bullshit. You want to say that's another day on Wall Street? Give me some facts. Give me your facts. Don't just give me some conjecture. Don't give me some expert opinion, because you know what expert opinion is? It's still an opinion. Just because an opinion is an expert opinion doesn't mean that opinion is fact. I just gave you some facts. I'm not an expert opinionator, okay? I don't consider myself an expert. Here's my expert analysis. Here's my factual analysis. Here's my empirical analysis. Here's my objective analysis. I just gave you a series of dates and a series of trajectories, of velocities. These are absolute facts. This can be corroborated with your own confirmation of the data. And that's simple as that. I stand by my work. I stand by the things that I say, because the things that I've just said, they are facts. They cannot be denied. Unless somebody comes up to me and says, well, you know that concept of mathematics? Mathematics is bullshit. And here's the proof why. If you can prove to me that mathematics is bullshit, then yes, my analysis is bullshit. But until someone proves to me that mathematics is bullshit, these facts stand, and they tell us exactly that this correction is far different from the corrections that we have seen over the last 5 or 10 years. And this could be the big one. I'm not giving you hyperbole. I'm not giving you hyperbole, even though my voice is starting to rise. I'm not giving you hyperbole. I'm not giving you hyperbole because we have not seen this type of velocity to the downside. We've not seen it. And so that's my big concern. Again, I practice what I preach. I got out of this shit. And I've been telling my friends, my close friends, and people that I respect, people that I care about, you got to get out. You got to do your analysis, do your research, confirm everything that I've said. But at the same time, do it quickly. Do it quickly, because this is no time to fuck around. Because the institutional players, the players that have really big money, that can really move the major indices, the global indices, they're getting the hell out of there. I'm telling you, that's the other thing too, is that the Asian markets wake up a day earlier virtually from our markets. And so they're going to absorb this data, and I'm not going to say whether the Asian markets are going to go up or down. I have no idea, but I firmly believe that they're going to go down. Even if they do go up, I mean, who's to say that as more and more data comes in, and all the bickering and speculation by the U.S. Federal Reserve, when all that stuff starts to filter in, people are really starting to absorb the real data, not just the bullshit data, the real data. I'm telling you, these people are going to panic. And I gave you my reasons about the demographic risk of the baby boomers, and how much volume of capital that they have in the stock market, and how they're so close to retirement age. These guys are going to panic. This is just, it's not really just about the empirical analysis, although I think that is the biggest incentive to get out of the markets, but it's also a psychological risk here. It's a psychological analysis. I mean, these are human markets after all, so there's always going to be a subjective element to market analysis. I firmly recognize that, even though I try my best to keep most of my analysis empirical, there is a subjective element. You cannot avoid the human element in the markets. But because of that, we can empathize with the situational risk. I mean, we can empathize. What would we do if we were 65 years old and we had a whole bunch of cash in the stock market, and the stock market shows that historically there's a very, very high probability of losing a lot of money given the rapid negative velocity? What would you do? You're a 65-year-old man and you've got millions of dollars in the stock market. What would you do? Of course you're going to pull out. Of course you're going to pull out. What person wouldn't pull out? The thing is that you want to pull out before those old timers and everybody else, the institutional players, they start calling the brokers and saying, hey, get me out, get me out, get me out. Because when those big market funds start jamming the system with sell orders, give me out, 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 you're not going to be left with much. You won't be able to get the best possible price, because the markets will just go into free fall. It will just go into an exponential negative velocity. And that's something that I want all of you guys, I'm hoping and I'm praying that this is something that you guys can avoid. You must avoid that. You must protect your capital. Even if you have to take a 10% opportunity cost or whatever the hell, just take it. Take it like a man and get the fuck out of the markets. Because I'm telling you, I'd much rather take a 10% loss than a 50% loss or a 60% loss. You have no idea how much damage a 50% loss, a 50% haircut could do to your portfolio. And the amount of time that it requires to make up for it. And then the exponential opportunity cost that comes in by losing 50% in just a matter of weeks. That would be terminal. That would be terminal to your retirement and to your portfolio. So I got a message for the USA Today, Yahoo Finance, Fox Business, CNBC. You guys have a lot of public leverage. You guys have a lot of public influence. And for once, there should be something inside of you. Something human inside of you that says, you know what? Just this once, we owe it to the public to give an objective analysis, an objective perspective on what is going on. Because there's going to be a lot of people that are in for a great reckoning. And there's a lot of people that don't deserve this reckoning. There's a lot of people that, just have a modicum of knowledge of the markets and a modicum of the shenanigans, the immorality that permeates throughout Wall Street. Yet their retirement funds, their livelihood is pinned on the ebb and flow of the stock market. And those people that may not be aware, that may be ignorant through no fault of their own, may be ignorant of the stuff that goes down on Wall Street. Those people are going to get hurt. It's not the big guys, and it's not the Rupert Murdochs that get hurt. He'll lose millions, but who cares when he's got billions? No, it's the regular folks that are just trusting the mainstream popular sentiment. Those are the guys that are going to get hurt. And those are the guys that I am trying to protect. If I can save one of those people, one family, from making a terrible, 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 terrible mistake, it will be worth it. It'll be worth it to take, all the criticism I get for getting all crazy and, that I'm ranting like a madman. It will be worth it if I can save just one person, one family from a very, very big mistake. I can't emphasize that enough. Anyways, I'm going to do some more work and some more analysis on this topic. Hopefully it's not going to get into a full-on major rant, but I'm sorry. I feel really passionate about this subject. I really do believe in my work, and I put pride in my work, and I put pride in disseminating the truth and to let the truth be known, and to hopefully to do it in a way that is attractive, that is entertaining, that makes the point stick. So, anyways, it's been quite a while. I will leave it at that, and for more information, you can check out the Bullish Money YouTube channel. I also have a lot of social media networks, so you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. On Twitter, the handle is Go With The Money. On the others, it's Bullish Money. So we'll see you next time.